This story is about a beautiful girl named Kim Young who has an 8-year-old sister. They are both orphans because their parents died 7 years ago.
지금 몇 시인데 이제 와. 언니가 얼마나 걱정했는지 알아?
The film starts when Young is looking for a part-time job. Suddenly the owner where Young lives comes to collect rent for the apartment. The owner of the apartment said, if Young didn't pay the rent today, they would be evicted. Young can't afford the rent.
무조건 이번 주 중으로 방 좀 빼줘요. 에?
아니.
Then Young went to her workplace at the cafe. On the way, Young saw her younger sister Kim Danby screaming angrily at her two friends. Then Young approached them. Her sister told her that her friend didn't want to hang out with her because she didn't have a father and a tent. Apparently there was a camping event that was attended by father and daughter. At first Young talked nicely to Danby's friends, but it turned out that they were mocking, so Young became angry. At cafe Young has a friend named Hyun Joo. Their friendship since 7 years ago. Young told Joo the problem and Joo offered to Young and Danby to stay at his house, but Young immediately rejected it because Young was reluctant to Joo, especially to Joo's parents. In another scene, Danby is shown standing in front of a restaurant window. Danby sees restaurant guests, a father and daughter eating at the restaurant. Apparently the guest was disturbed by Danby's behavior and told the restaurant waiter to throw her out. The restaurant waiter came out and was about to kick Danby out with harsh words, and threatened if Danby didn't want to leave then he would call the police. Coincidentally at that time a man was passing by and approached her.
제가 이 아이 보호자인데 무슨 문제 있나요? 예.
The man took pity and guessed that Danby was hungry, so the man asked Danby to eat.
가스 먹을래?
Arriving at home, Danby told Young what had happened. Danby said that she longed to have a father and asked if Young also longed to have a father. Young answered, yes, she also longed to have a father. The next day, a man came to the cafe where Young worked. The man introduced himself named Sul Yusong who yesterday met with Danby and wanted to talk to Young alone. Yusong gave Young a sheet of agreement paper and said he wanted to do a contract agreement legal father and son relationship for 1 month. Young was surprised. Apparently Danby yesterday did not tell her in full. Then Yusong told her that he met Danby yesterday. Danby told Yusong that Danby peeked in the restaurant window not because she was hungry but because she was jealous to see a daughter eating with his father. Danby wants to have a father. It just so happened that Yusong also needed a child, so the two of them made agreement. Young did not believe, she wanted to return the agreement letter. Then Yusong told. He had a grandmother who left an inheritance in the form of a company to Yusong on the condition that Yusong must have children within 2 months. If Yusong had no children then the company would be passed on to his uncle. His uncle is a corruptor. Yusong doesn't want this company to go bankrupt because of his uncle, because this company is the legacy of his grandmother's hard work.
할머니께서 목숨보다도 아끼셨던 회사의 승객권, 평생 일구신 그 자리를 엄한 사람에게 빼앗기지 않는 것.
Yusong asked Young to think about it and immediately gave an answer.
대체 무슨 소리를 하고 있는 거야?
After work, Young told Jo-ho about the contract agreement. Jo-ho disagrees with Young signing the agreement.
가서 왔냐. 동족이라고 절대 안 먹을 줄 알아.
죽는다. 그거나 식으면서
Jo-ho said, if Young becomes Yoo-song's daughter, then Young and her sister will live with Yoo-song. This will be dangerous for them because they don't know Yoo-song yet. But Young thinks she needs a house as soon as possible and this agreement is only valid for 1 month, so they both need each other.
얘가 진짜 세상 무서운 줄 모르고.
야, 안 해. 그냥 궁금해서 물어본 거야.
The next day Young and Danby moved into Yoo-song's house. They were amazed by Yoo-song's big house. Since that, they have lived together.
이곳,
Many things make them awkward.
이 상황. 안녕히 주무셨어요. 그리고 이 남자. 나에겐 상상할 수 없는 일이었다.
It's been a week they have been living together. Today Danby is going on a school trip, so Young and Yoo-song are alone at home. One time they saw an insect, Young screamed in fear. Even though Yoo-song was also scared, he tried to kill the bug. And succeeded. They cheered together. When Young was drying clothes, suddenly 2 unknown men came. The man wonders why Young is in the house and asks who she is. Then Yoo-song came. It turned out that the man was Yoo-song's uncle. His uncle asks Yoo-song who is that girl? Then Yoo-song replied that Young was his daily maid.
그게 여자친구라도 생긴 거야? 도와주시는 분입니다.
Then his uncle came home. But his uncle was suspicious, and sent his assistant to investigate. Yoo-song feels guilty to Young for saying that Young is his maid and Yoo-song apologizes to Young. But Young understands it.
괜찮아요.
Young has lunch with Jo-ho and tells that Young lives at Yoo-song's house. Hearing that Jo-ho was angry, they argued with each other. Jo-ho left Young.
뭐야 이거?
아 몰라. 네 맘대로 해.
Then Young returned to the cafe and they reconciled. Young knows that Jo-ho is good to her. Jo-ho is angry with attention and worries for Young.
알았어.
Suddenly 2 women came in and got angry at Young. Apparently they are the mothers of Danby's friends. They were angry and accused Danby of hitting their child. Jo-ho tries to protect Young but he doesn't know what to do.
언니는 그쪽 동생이 아니고 우리 애들한테 있는 거고.
상황 들어보니
Then Yoo-song came and said that he had CCTV evidence showing that it was the mother's daughter who pushed Danby first. Yoo-sung also gave the mother a business card and said that he was in charge of Danby and Young. Seeing the business card, the mothers left and were embarrassed.
보호자입니다.
그러니까 사람 말고. 내 동생 가볼게요.
Then Young and Yoo-song went to the shop to gift camping equipment to Danby, then they sat down and talked to each other. Yoo-song tells about himself. His parents had died and he was raised by his grandmother. Right now Yoo-song just wants to be alone with Young. Young is happy, then Young realizes that she has fallen in love with Yoo-song. Unexpectedly at that time someone was taking pictures of them. Apparently Uncle Yoo-song's assistant was always following them. Even when Yoo-song, Young and Danby went somewhere, the assistant took their picture. One day Young was about to go to a wedding. When Young descended the stairs and passed in front of Yoo-song, Yoo-song saw her and was mesmerized by Young's beauty. While Yoo-song was chatting with his assistant, suddenly there was a call. Apparently there was some shocking news.
잠시 전화하세요. 네, 윤혜입니다. 네, 맞는데요.
Meanwhile, Young came home from work accompanied by Jo-ho. How surprised Young was when she opened the chat. It turned out that there was a photo of her and Danby together with Young. Jo-ho tries to resuscitate Young with this case and asks Young to leave Young's house. But Young was confused, she didn't know what to do. Young is not worried about herself, but Young is worried that Young's efforts to maintain his company are failing. When Jo-ho wanted to ask Young to go, Young came to Young, but Jo-ho stopped him.
그쪽이랑 얘기하고 싶지 않아 하는데 좀 비켜주시죠. 죄송한데 저희 두 사람 일이라서요.
Young says now he will protect Young, because he likes Young. Young said that he wanted to have a private talk with Young and said that he wanted to break the contract agreement as father and daughter because he also likes Young. Young asked Young to make a decision, then Young left Young and Jo-ho alone.
생각할 시간 필요하면 다녀와. 대신 집엔 꼭 돌아왔으면 좋겠다.
Jo-ho said that he patiently waited for Young and was always loyal to help her. Apparently Jo-ho has liked Young since 7 years ago but never said it. Jo-ho always waits for Young until Young is ready to accept his love. But Young's feelings for Jo-ho are only as friends. Although heartbroken, Jo-ho let it go.
더없이 좋은 친구야.
Then Young met Young. Young expressed her concern that their photo together could thwart Young's plans. But Young replies that Young needn't worry because Young already has other plans to deal with his uncle.
괜찮아.
Then Young confesses his feelings to Young. Young said that he will faithfully wait until Young solves the problem.
회사 꼭 지키고 싶다고 했잖아요. 언제가 될진 모르겠지만 기다리고 있을게요.
2 months have passed. Young is still working at her cafe. For 2 months Young kept waiting for Young even though there was no news from Young.
소식조차 들을 수 없었다. 어서 오세요.
내가 작은 아버지께 키워진 기억이 없어서요.
Meanwhile Young at the office has managed to find evidence of the crime committed by his uncle. His uncle is angry and threatens to reveal the secret that Young adopted a child, by entering into a contract agreement. But Young said that they are not his children.
팩트로만 얘기할 거야.
그래, 알바 갔거든?
Young met Danby when Danby was with her friends. Their Danby called Young dad. Young even told Danby's friends that he took Danby camping somewhere with a swimming pool. This made Danby's friends envious and sorry for ridiculing Danby.
담배 살까?
One day when Young was working at her cafe, suddenly a visitor came. Young turned and was surprised happily because it was Young who came. Young gives Young a piece of paper, which expresses Young's feelings for Young. The paper reads, "I am looking for a wife and will live with her all my life." The end. If you like this video, please like and share this video. Take care of your health wherever you are. See you in another video.